warrant doesn't have a signature on it.
Doesn't need
from
a
the
signature.
magistrates.
Doesn't need a
You're
signature.
not allowed to
Sir,
enter
if
the
you've stopped
premises.
me anymore, I've explained the warrant down to the T. If you've stopped me anymore, I'm going to enter the property now.
I know
If
for
you've
a
stopped
fact.
me, you're going to be arrested.
No,
Okay?
no, he's just trying to bully his way in. Okay? I know for a fact that a warrant has to be signed by the
It
courts.
doesn't need to be signed by a judge.
Yes, it does have to be signed by the courts.
Maritime law, sir.
Maritime law?
Yeah, you're
This
thinking
isn't
about it. You've been reading
salvage.
the internet too much, sir.
The situation escalates immediately. A bailiff issues a direct threat, comply, or face arrest. But this raises a critical question. Does he actually have the legal authority to force entry at this moment, or is this pressure being used to gain compliance? In the UK, enforcement powers are tightly controlled, especially when it comes to entering a private home. So before accepting this claim at face value, we need to examine what happens next and whether those powers are being used correctly. Footage courtesy of Ryan Rampage. Full credit in the description, go check out their channel.
Morning, buddy. Aye. Don't worry about pal, it's just for your TV licence. What's about? You good motherfucker. Hey. Okay.
The interaction begins casually. A TV licensing representative approaches the property without clear urgency. At this stage, there's no visible escalation, just a standard doorstep contact. But even here, something is missing, clear identification and a transparent explanation of purpose.
Who are you?
Sorry, I'm from TV licensing.
Are you?
Yeah, it's just your licence as well.
Not interested.
You're not
Not interested. No, forget it.
Oh, right, there's my ID. Just
No, I
safety
don't need
tip.
your card.
Can I see your ID?
You've seen my ID, Mr. Bennett? And this is
I
what...
haven't seen your ID. You went to show me. You went to show me your ID.
Yeah, you've seen the ID, Mr. Bennett. It's 42 Shadoli Street. Okay?
Did you drive here in your own car today?
I did.
Are you insured for business?
It's a company car.
Is it a company car? That's okay. Do you mind if I write the number plate there?
Do you mind if I record you was on?
You can record me all you want. I'm just making sure you're abiding by the law. Why are you covering your face? Sure, you work for a company. You work for BBC. You're a public worker.
Now the tone shifts. The resident asks for identification, a reasonable request. Instead of resolving this simply, the interaction becomes defensive. In UK practice, officials attending a property should clearly identify themselves when challenged. Avoiding that only increases suspicion and tension.
Right?
You know you will appear in court.
I'll appear in court? You don't even know my name, mate.
Mr. Bennett, you just confirmed it.
Mr. Bennett? You don't know how to spell it?
What's the spell, Mr. Bennett?
Can you spell Mr. Bennett? There's loads of Mr. Bennetts in Belfast.
That's okay, Mr. Bennett.
Did you drive your own car here today?
Mr. Bennett, when you go back to your house and before you
When I go back to my house, what? Sorry? Did you issue me with a threat? Tell me to go back to my house or something?
I told you to go back to your house.
Why? What are you going to do? If it don't? Did you drive your car here today? Did you drive your own car here today? Is it insured for business purpose?
Company car, what part of that
It's a company car. That's okay then. I'm going to write your number plate down. And I want to know from BBC whether you're insured to do business in it. I'm going to phone your insurance company then.
At this point, the conversation loses structure. Both sides escalate. But notice the tactic shifting focus away from the original purpose and into personal accusations. This is often where clarity breaks down and legal boundaries start becoming blurred.
Hello, sir.
Hi, you okay?
Are you aware why I'm here?
Yeah, apparently it's breach of the peace, but he's the one with his foot in this household store.
Basically, this gentleman is here.
Okay.
Has he explained why he's here?
He's here to see a Mr. Jerry. You didn't give me the last name, you said Jerry.
Mr. Weeks.
Jerry
Yes, it
Weeks.
is.
Okay.
Very obstructive. As soon as he answered, I said, "Come on, sir. Mr. Robson, I'm here, Martin. It's just been recorded for a report. It needs to be Jerry, please."
Okay.
I'm not Jerry. He says, "We could get Jerry from repeat." No. And he won't tell me his name. He's obstructive. He's tried to shut the door. I said, "No, I've got a warrant for the address. I will be entering the address and executing the warrant if you can't get me Jeremy." It's as simple as that.
Okay.
I don't actually need to say who I am. I just need to tell you that Jerry isn't here.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I just stop
You can
there?
say whatever you.
Basically, Why are you here, sir? Can you
Executing this court warrant.
Okay.
He hasn't
not-
shown me any warrant yet.
Okay.
I don't need to show you, sir. Under the Data
Okay.
Protection Act, you're not Jerry.
Okay.
The situation changes significantly here. A bailiff introduces a warrant of control, a legal tool used to recover unpaid fines. This is no longer a routine visit. However, the legitimacy of enforcement depends entirely on how that warrant is presented and executed.
And it's on this address.
Okay. Have you got any identification on you, sir?
Not on me.
No? Okay, any letters or anything like that? Driving licence?
No.
Would you be kind enough to go and get a driving licence for me? Just so I can establish who you are?
I can't at the moment.
That would be really useful for me if you could. If you don't mind doing that, sir, that's really good. And then basically we can, you know, sort this situation out. We don't want to inconvenience you if you're obviously not this gentleman that
I didn't know.
my
I
colleague
told this
is.
gentleman I wasn't this, the gentleman he's after.
Okay.
I don't believe that's against the law. He's not an officer of the law.
Okay.
Okay, but I won't lie to you. I am Jerry Weeks.
Okay, sir, that's really kind
I'm now
of
going
you.
to enter the property.
And
Take
what-
control of goods to be
and
sold at public auction.
There's hesitation, then a key admission the resident confirms their identity. This is important. At this point, the bailiff now has confirmation of the individual linked to the warrant. The focus should now shift to lawful enforcement, not escalation.
Okay,
So
because
do
she
me-
has a problem with her uterus.
You're coming out with all these excuses now,
Okay.
sir. You lied to me before.
Warrant.
I'm now going to
Sir,
execute. There's the
listen,
warrant.
There's another unit coming now. Now
Okay.
we really do need to just.
If you
calm
obstruct me, you'll be
down,
arrested. Do you
okay?
understand?
Okay, right. Just listen.
Warrant. Yeah.
He's got a warrant. Okay.
I haven't seen the warrant.
There's the
Okay,
warrant there.
there's the
You're not
warrant.
recording the warrant.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Well,
I promise
okay, I'll
you.
tell you what. I'll hold that there.
Sir,
I want to
sir,
see it.
No, you can see
okay.
it.
Has it been explained what the warrant is all about?
Can I just explain one thing?
Okay.
A warrant has to be signed
No,
by
it
the
doesn't.
magistrate. Yes,
So-
it does. Could you please just check on your radio there? Does
Right.
a warrant have to be signed
No, it
by the
doesn't.
chief magistrate?
This warrant basically is one that he can execute, and basically has it been explained to you why he actually needs to enter and has the power to
It hasn't
enter
explained
the property?
anything yet.
Right,
Can
Jerry.
you do that for
Yes, I
me?
can.
Here, the bailiff outlines the fine and the legal basis for enforcement. A warrant of control does allow recovery of debt, but enforcement is not unlimited. Entry into a residential property must typically be peaceful. Forced entry is heavily restricted in these cases.
Do you understand that, sir?
No.
Right. You've been found guilty for use of a television set without a licence
Okay.
on the 26th of January this year. The courts have issued a fine. The fine's not been paid. They've now issued a warrant of control. I have the warrant of control in my possession, which I will be executing on this premises right now if this fine cannot be paid in full.
And how much
Okay?
is the fine?
The fine is at £760 at this minute in time. If this doesn't get paid, I need to make you aware of further fees that you will incur on this fine if it is not paid when I go ahead with the removal, okay?
That warrant doesn't have a signature on it.
Doesn't need
from
a
the
signature,
magistrates.
doesn't need
You
a
do not, you're not allowed to
Sir,
enter
if
the
you obstruct
premises.
me anymore, I've explained the warrant down to the T.
Can one
If
of
you
the
obstruct me
officers please
anymore, I'm going to enter the property now.
I
If
know
you
for a
obstruct me,
fact.
you're going to be arrested.
No,
Okay?
no, he's just trying to bully his way in.
Refuse
Okay,
to
I know for a
execute.
fact that a warrant has to be signed by the
It
courts.
doesn't need to be signed by a judge.
Yes, it does have to be signed by the courts.
Maritime law, sir.
Maritime law.
Yeah, you're
This
thinking
isn't
maritime. You've been reading the
salvage.
internet too much, sir.
Now we see conflicting legal claims. The resident argues the warrant is invalid without a signature, which is not necessarily correct. But equally, the bailiff does not clearly demonstrate the warrant's validity. This creates confusion and weakens authority on both sides.
And this man is causing massive stress on my heavily pregnant wife.
Okay. We're going to try and do this the best way possible, so we don't want obviously any distress on your good self or obviously what you've explained to us about your wife. We're really not here for that. Okay, our purpose here is obviously to make sure that this doesn't escalate, so you know that it gets silly. Okay, what we need the gentleman to be able to do is to obviously, you know now why he's got the warrant. This is managed the best way. We don't want any stress for you or your wife. Okay.
Police step in, but their role is limited. This is a civil matter. Their priority is preventing a breach of the peace, not enforcing the debt. Notice their approach: calm, neutral, and focused on reducing tension rather than taking sides.
It's not peaceful entry. You're not
It
being
is
peaceful.
entry. As soon as you open that door, sir, that is peaceful entry.
No, you have to be
Yes, it
invited
is,
in.
sir. I think you'll find you're wrong.
It's not a peaceful entry.
If it's
And
standing inside the property.
This isn't actually the front door legally.
It doesn't
This
matter
is-
what door it is, sir. I'm inside the property.
This isn't the property.
What are you wanting to do?
I'm now going to
sir?
execute the warrant. I'm going to take control of goods to be sold at public auction to cover the cost of his fine because he's not paid it. If you can't pay this fine now, I need to make you aware that the further fees will be incurred. Okay? Would you like to pay the fine? If you have the ability to pay the fine.
Does he have access in here? I don't believe he does.
Is it in the
You have to be careful what you say now because it is recorded.
Yeah,
Will
I'm
be
in the
going
threshold,
online.
sir. That's the threshold. Yes.
Okay, but are you sure that he has 100% access because
the threshold.
it doesn't make any difference. He's not over the household threshold. That this here is an extension. Okay, this here isn't even on the registry. Okay, now he has to have a signed warrant to execute.
Okay. I'm now going to execute this warrant. If you'd like to step out and way, sir, if you obstruct me, the police will remove you. Okay?
The term peaceful entry becomes central here. Under UK law, this means entering without force or coercion. But applying pressure, issuing threats, or creating intimidation raises serious questions. At what point does peaceful stop being peaceful?
I'll give 5 seconds to move, sir, and then I'm going to...
You're causing massive stress on my heavily pregnant
5,
wife.
4, 3...
Mr. Weeks.
Okay, sir, I've waited long enough. Would you like to move him out of the way, guys?
Okay, Mr. Weeks, he has to do his job.
No. You guys think he does? He does. No, he doesn't. That is a warrant, okay? That has to be signed by the courts. Yes, it does. It does have to be signed by the courts.
It's been issued. It's been issued.
I'm not giving him permission to enter this house. This house isn't even mine.
Excuse me, sir. You obstruct me, you're going to be arrested. Do you understand? Thank you. Excuse me, sir. So you're going to be arrested,
my
sir.
dog will bite, okay?
It's all right. It's okay.
You're going to be arrested, sir. Now move.
The situation reaches its peak. A countdown is issued. Physical tension increases. And once again, the threat of arrest is used. But this is where enforcement risks crossing into coercion. Authority is no longer being demonstrated through law, but through pressure. What we've just seen is a breakdown in controlled enforcement. On one side, a bailiff with a legitimate tool, a warrant of control. On the other, a resident challenging that authority, sometimes incorrectly, but consistently questioning it. The core issue is not whether a debt exists, it's how that debt is enforced. Under UK law, entry into a residential property for this type of warrant must be peaceful. That means no force, no intimidation, and no coercion. The moment threats become the primary tool, comply or be arrested, the line becomes blurred. At the same time, misinformation complicates the situation further. Claims about unsigned warrants or maritime law distract from the real legal framework, and that confusion benefits no one. Police presence here highlights another reality. They are not enforcing the warrant, they are managing risk. Their role is to prevent escalation, not validate legal claims made on either side. Ultimately, this situation reveals a pattern. Authority asserted without clarity, and resistance built on partial understanding. And when both sides operate in that space, the result is exactly what we see here: conflict, confusion, and a process that no longer feels lawful even when parts of it are.